Hello friends, welcome back. So in today tutorial we are going to discuss about the Docker virtualization and the container. We will discuss and learn what is the Docker virtualization and container. So this is the very important topic, specifically when it comes to the cloud computing. We'll understand what is the cloud computing as well. So first we need to understand from where this idea came out. We need to know how we reached out to this idea. So let's understand. So suppose you are writing code, okay, to make any application. So what are the the checklist that you create, like how much memory you require to run your application, how much processor you required, okay, how much space you required to run your application, and there lots of configuration you think before writing and making an application, right? So suppose you in a older days, suppose you are writing one applications, then you prepared a checklist, then you go to the shop and you buy your machine, your laptop or any hardware accessories to run your application. Now your business grows and you need a scale up, you need a horizontally scale up. So horizontally scale up means to increase your capacity, or you need another hardware, so you will purchase another laptop with high capacity of memory, processor and all. So if a stage 2 got full out, so we will have to write another storage, okay, and it will go another shop to buy the another configuration of to run your application, since you are doing the horizontal scale up, right? Another stage for it will come where it will require to buy and do the investment again. So if you are seeing at a different stages, once your requirement are getting increased, you need to scale up. So one thing you can do, instead of investing one by one again after some time, you can directly invest to buy a large capacity environment, right? But you have to put the huge investment on that, right? So what is going to do, let's scenario like you need to run a multiple resources application on a single computer. Okay, so this is the single computer and two resources or developer wants to work. So you can divide the resources between the two developer, but this will be a contention. Some argument can pass, I need this much of resources, I this memory, I need this kind of processor. So it's not a proper solution. So what we need to do, if you see, uh, in general scenario, when you are doing the development, you put the code into the development environment, then the development environment code is get deployed into the QA environment, right? And once the QA is done, you pass the code to the operation team, and the operation team deploy the code into the server, where your production server, you can say, so where your code runs. So between this, if you see, your code is getting shipped from one environment to another, okay, and finally it reaching to the production server. So sometimes you might have heard about between the developer and the QA testing. When the QA testing is raising a defect, then developer is saying it's working in my machine. Then QA testing is saying no, but it's not working in my machine. So even though the development team has given the checklist, like this much memory required, or this much of particular Java JRE, let's say, version is required, or any kind of .NET proper version is required, still it's not working, because apart from the software specifications of application specific, there are many more things that you required to run your application, and you cannot ship your whole operating system, right? You cannot copy the whole C drive to the QA environment or the server environment, right? So what are the basically things you required? So whenever you run your application, you need first hard disk, the space required, you need a processor, you need a RAM, or you need a IO. So there is operating system where all these component runs on the operating system, right? So let's see, in the operating system you have all these component and you are writing one application. So this is basically a code that you are writing, right? So the this code will go to the operating system, okay, and the operating system will interact with the either the hard disk, processor, RAM or IO. So same like, suppose this operating system application 1 is running on this space, so it's occupying the 50% area. Now the processor is also this application is also occupying the 50% of the processor, and RAM is also 50% and IO is also 50%. Thereafter what we did, we wrote another application 2, and application 2 also be deployed on the same operating system, okay. And this operating system, the processor, this application 2 is occupying this another 25% of space, another 25% of processor, another 25% of RAM, and so on. And we write again the 3 application 3. So this also occupying the remaining space, right? So 3 application is running on this same machine, on the same operating system. But problem was associated with this design is, let's say application 1 needs more space or processor or RAM is required to run on this operating system, and if it required more, okay, then the other application may go out of memory, out of space, or any kind of the exception or error can come. So there was no boundary was defined, there was no boundary was associated, like application which have associated with this much of space only, this much of processor only, right? So currently the solution was having this kind of problem. There was no boundary defined. So if the application was taking more space, the other application may go out of memory or any other kind of input output issue or processing issue, right? So thereafter the people came up with the solution called hypervisor. So hypervisor, what we do, you might have heard about the virtual machine. So using this hypervisor, what we do, we install the virtual machine, okay. So let's say we install, using the hypervisor, we install the virtual machine operating system 1, 2, 3 on top of actual operating system. So the real world was actual operating system, and we created a virtual world on top of the actual operating system. So behind that, what's going on will not bother. So in this approach, what we did, we associated one virtual machine operating system for one application. This virtual machine operating system, if you see the color green one, is associated with this. This is dedicated to this, and this virtual machine is dedicated to this. So now we have a defined boundary. Like if virtual machine OS, we have allocated 50%, the resource of actual operating system will be associated with app 1, which is running on the virtual machine OS 1. Same with virtual machine OS 2. So we have a well defined boundary, right? So if the app 1 wants to occupy the memory of VM OS 2, it won't be able to do, because we have defined the boundary. So each and every virtual machine OS has defined what are the the size of processor or RAM, how much will required. So we have already given this specification to the operation team. I need to run the application 1 or 2 or 3, I need this of memory. So they have set up the virtual machine OS on top of actual machine, but your actual operating system is behind in the real world. So from this was the revolution, okay, in a cloud computing. So cloud computing the idea comes from here only. So if you see here, you are using the single resource actual operating system, and you are categorizing and you are installing on top of that different operating system. So whenever you required to deploy the application 1, you don't need to deploy the code. You will create a package of virtual machine OS 1 and will ship to the stage or QA or production environment. So it will go it will take all the configuration that was required, and this will not give any discrepancies. So this was the good solution, and this created a revolution in the market in the cloud computing. If you see here, in a cloud computing, what they did, the big brand like Google, Amazon, Azure, and the Oracle Cloud, what they are doing, they are basically setting up all the hardware OS and all in a big size, and they are renting out how much size is required. Suppose I want to run the application, I need only 4 GB of RAM or 4 GB of space or this much of processor, then I only buy that only, and they are providing, they are renting out for a 6 months or yearly basis, right? So this was the time when the cloud computing came, and they take up the concepts from the virtual machine. However, there are some still problem associated with this hypervisor virtual machine concepts. So if you see here suppose we allocated a 50% of the RAM to the virtual machine OS1, and this application is required only the 10%, then your 90% of this memory is getting waste, right? And it uses the multiple independent operating system, like in multiple operating system are getting updated. It was also slow for the integration. You are integrating virtual machine with app one with this resources, it was also slow, right? So then they come up with the solution of containerization. So this was the virtualization concepts, right? So instead of creating a virtual machine on top of your operating system using the hypervisor, they come up with the concepts of Docker. So on top of the Docker, you need to install the operating system, and on top of that you need to go with the Docker, and on top of Docker will be installing the container. So like in a hypervisor, we had installed the hypervisor for the virtual machine. We are installing the Docker, and using the Docker we are creating a container. Okay, so what it will do, okay, if you see here, you are installing the Docker, so it's no stage of memory, so as much as size you required, so you are not allocating any fixed memory. So suppose application is required to use only 1 MB of RAM, so at the runtime it will take only 1 MB of RAM. You don't require to purchase 4 GB or 8 GB of fixed size RAM. You require this much of space, so using the container you require that much of space only. So what we do in the case of Docker and container, you create a package, okay, and including all your installed application, whatever the dependency that you required to run your application, you make a package and put into the container, and thereafter wherever you required to deploy that application, you go with the container, you create the image of that container, okay, and you ship to there in the SIT or stage or production environment, and you can create the n number of instances of the container, right? So instance is created by the container. So suppose you need to write the 5 instances of your application, so just to have created you need to create the instance of the container, and you can run it, because inside container you have an image of your application which includes all the dependency that is required to run your application. Okay, so the same thing. So here in the case of Docker and the container, the development team has developed the code, okay, and they will install over this machine, on the dev machine, they will install the Docker, and they will put all the images, okay, all the dependency, they will make the images, put into the container, and they will move to the QA environment, and that container from QA environment will go to the operation team, DevOps team, and DevOps team will deploy your container into the server. So we need to run the container over the, we'll create the instance of that container and we will run that. So Docker, it creates a very lightweight, a lightweight OS. It's not a also a OS, complete OS like a virtual machine where you require the actual OS. So Docker or container is required only the four things that we discussed, like your space, only IO, your processor and RAM. These four things only required to run your application, right? And that's only, the other things is a minor things that can be shared across, but these are the four things we were actually required, right? In the case of virtual machine, it was not lightweight, right? Instead of installing the virtual machine in each machine and treating as a separate operating system, we don't require operating system, right? Because we need only these four things to run your application on top of your actual operating system. So the developer not need to bother about what is in the real world. You are interacting with the virtual world only. So this is, all these things will be in the cloud. Okay, we have installed, the cloud provider is providing you the OS, and on top of that you are installing Docker only. So Docker, let's say Docker you are installing and you are giving specifications on the Linux side, like you are running application on the Linux side, but in the real world it's a Windows only. That's fine, you are using only the hardware part of from the real world, and you are running your application on that virtual world. So that's all about the concepts of the container virtualizations, what is Docker, and the cloud computing. So thanks for watching this video. Please click here to subscribe this channel, like and share. Thank you.